I'm going to do a dish for you now that I really love. This is one of my favourite dishes and I've been doing it for years. This is a bowler blade, really good for slow cooking. We've got a nice hot pan. We're going to give this a good generous bit of salt. In our hot pan we've got a little bit of oil, a little bit of butter, a bit of salt on both sides. And then we want to put this cap side down, which is the side that has the most fat on. We're going to leave that to caramelise, get some really nice crispiness into that fat and render it down, and then we're going to use the same pan after to cook all our other ingredients. This is a one pot wonder and it's a fabulous dish. While we're waiting for that to colour, we're going to slice some garlic. Now I'm not going to crush the garlic this time, we're going to do some nice chunky slices. Gives that a nice little bit of texture. Let's check our meat. See how much colour we've got going on. And it's starting to colour up nicely. So I'll really want to get some caramelisation on there. So I'm going to leave that to colour a little bit more. One of the great things about this is bacon. We want to keep the bacon nice and chunky and get the fattest slices of bacon you can. Traditionally the French would use lardons for this, and this is a recipe called boeuf bourguignon, which is beef braised in red wine. So our bowler blade's got lots of colour onto it now. We're going to get our shallots in. Now we've got about 10 shallots here. If you've got really small shallots you can use more. If you've got really large shallots you can use less. We want to get some colour onto our shallots, some colour onto our bacon, using the oils that are already in the pan. Now we're going to do what's called a bouquet garni. It's very simply just bay leaf and thyme. To save ourselves a little bit of trouble later on, we're going to tie it with a piece of string so we can just lift it out in one piece rather than trying to find all the little bits of bay leaf and thyme that are floating around. So nothing too fancy, just a little knot. We've got some good colour onto our shallots. Our slices of garlic go in. Now we're just going to cook the rawness out of that garlic. I'm going to deglaze. Don't be scared, using a whole bottle of red wine. Now you can use 2 bottles if you like. Into there, we'll drop our bouquet garni. So our wine has reduced by the 1/3 to a half. Bowler blade straight back in, and all those juices that have come out, get them in as well. Now we've got carrots, mushrooms. We cover that with beef stock. And you want to bring the stock right up to completely cover that meat. If a little bit of the fat's exposed, that's okay. That'll just help to caramelise a little bit. Now we're going to finish this off with some chopped parsley. I'm going to put half of this in now and the other half in when we take it out of the oven. So nice tight bundle in your hand. And you can keep this nice and rustic, this chopping of the parsley. This is not a particularly fancy dish, but it's a very, very flavoursome dish. So, half of that parsley in, the other half we'll put in after. We'll bring this up to the boil. Now it's a good idea when you do a braise like this, beef bourguignon, we're using a French style enamel pot. If you don't have a French enamel pot, make sure it's a non-reactive pan. It'd be much better for you, otherwise the flavours of the galvanised pans tend to taint because the alcohol reacts with it. So non-reactive pan is very important. So this up to the boil, now we're going to get it into the oven. So our beef bourguignon, or our beef bowler blade, has been in the oven now for about 3 hours. And what you're looking for is for it to be really, really tender. So just use a spoon or a fork and just push on it to see if it is falling apart. And as long as the meat is nice and soft, you know it's going to be delicious. Now, as is always likely to happen, a bouquet garni got stuck underneath. And this is just going to show you how tender that meat is. Bits are falling off it. You can see we've got all these lovely vegetables in here still. To make our life a little bit easier to make this sauce, I'm just going to scoop some of them out. You can see even these vegetables are really nice and tender. I'm just going to give our sauce a little taste. Oh, it's delicious. I'm doing that just to get an idea how much salt and how much butter we need to put in, just to make it a nice, rich, lovely sauce. Now we're going to add a little bit of butter to this, and this is just to make the sauce a little bit thicker, a little bit richer. Now, depending on how health conscious you are as well, as to how much you use, we're just going to start with a little bit. And what you want to do is try and work this butter into the sauce, and as it boils, it's going to emulsify essentially together, and it'll really make that sauce nice and shiny and rich. So our sauce has come down now to a lovely consistency. Just going to double check it for seasoning. That is sensational. Bit of salt. I'll tell you what, this would win anyone over. When you eat this dish, do me one favour. Make sure you have a really nice glass of red wine with it. And then we have our French style pot roasted bowl of laid beef.